Hi everyone! Welcome to this new section of my channel that I called As We Say in Argentina. And I created this project because I've always been fascinated by the interaction between cultures, right? I've always been so into understanding the culture of the places I've been to, and if there's anything special about becoming a tango dancer is that no matter what, you get to interact with people from many different cultures, and if you don't speak Spanish, whether you want it or not, whether you like it or not, you're going to be thrown into a conversation where there are 2 or 3 porteños speaking, and we're going to be using expressions and sayings that even though you might be quite fluent in Spanish, you will frown and say, I don't think I understood what they were saying here. So this is why I've created this project, As We Say in Argentina. Because studying a language only gives us the structure of the culture we're going to be dealing with. It only teaches the core idea of how to communicate. We learn the grammar, we learn to say things properly, but unless we really immerse ourselves in the culture of the people we're going to be talking with, there is always to be a little bit of a gap, right? So, languages are full of idioms, full of sayings, full of expressions that come from things as, simple as TV shows, movies, songs, poetry, famous books, politicians saying things in a rally. And after a while of, that being recorded, written, videoed or whatever, it becomes a part of our culture. It becomes something we say normally. It got into us, like in a 20-day challenge kind of thing. After saying it over and over and over again, it gets viral and it gets into the culture and it's there. And then you start using it without even knowing that you're using it, right? You just make it a habit of the way you express things. But if you didn't watch that show, if you didn't listen to that song, if you didn't read that book, of course, you're always a little bit outside the conversation when somebody does say it, that's used. So becoming familiar with a culture means that we need to add substance to the structure of the language that we're learning in class, right? So it's just like we do when we practice techniques, when we master the techniques of a certain move in tango. Let's say we're mastering an enrosque, we're taking hours to practice a bailao because we want to add our personality to that sequence that we're going to be using in the dance floor later. Well, this is exactly the same thing. When we learn to refer to these expressions people are usually referring to, what we do is we're adding substance and content to the grammar and the proper way of saying things in the language that we're learning in class. So as we say in Argentina, is this idea of me posting videos, picking expressions that we porteños use like on a daily basis and that have no actual translation. Yes, they do have a translation, but they are not sayings. I'm not going to be using here sayings that everybody in the world uses. I'm thinking, for example, everybody says in English this idea of once bitten, twice shy. Great, we in Spanish also have that saying, and it goes, el que se quema con leche ve una vaca y llora, which means if you burned yourself with hot milk, you see a cow and you cry. So that is a concept that we share, and it's international, only that we of course use the language to express it differently. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be using those, right? What I'm going to be choosing here are things that are related especially to the Argentine culture, so that we use all the time. So when you hear them, you know what we're referring to, and it makes it more consistent when you're trying to speak Spanish, right? You're not going to be lost in a conversation when you're hearing one. So that said, today, guess what? I've chosen a tango. What else? Yeah, the tango has influenced the way we speak so much. It's so deep into our culture that we use expressions coming from tango songs that we don't even know we're using. Children these days could come up with an expression that comes from a song from the very early 1920s and they don't even know, right? So it's deep down in our culture. And a few days ago I decided, because I had this idea, then I decided to run a poll on Facebook asking my friends to remind me of expressions that we normally use coming from our culture. And my friend Ricardo Bonani, came with this one that we always use, which is que me quiten lo bailao. In que me quiten lo bailao, is an expression that translates as, how can we say it? Let them take the dances I dance off of me. Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense in English, it really doesn't work. But anyway, it is the title of a song that you probably danced to a zillion times by the orchestra of Alberto Tanturi and Ricardo Tanturi and Alberto Castillo, mixed the names up. And I'm pretty damn sure you've danced to it many times. Check it out, the link is down here, so listen to it and especially pay attention to the last part of the song where Alberto Castillo sings as this. ¿Qué querés que le haga, hermano? Si nací pa' morir pobre, con un pucho entre los labios y en un tango entreverado, juego, canto, bailo y río, y aunque no me quede un cobre, al llegar a la última hora, que me quiten lo bailao. So that translates more or less like this. It goes like, what do you want me to do, brother? I was born to die poor, with a cigarette in my lips and mixed up in a tango. I gamble, I sing, I dance, I laugh, and even without a penny left in my pocket, when the day comes, let them take the dances I've danced off of me. So it is this guy talking about his experience in life, and he is one of these persons that is kind of prompt to excess, I would say. Is the kind of guy that would go like, I can resist anything but temptation. And he gambles, he drinks, he stays out all night, he gives away all his money to his friends, he buys champagne and all that kind of thing that would be considered excessive sometimes. So here is when we use this idea of que me quiten lo bailao. It's like, for example, when you're having that, those nights you're having an extra glass of wine, those days you're thinking, okay, I'm going past my bedtime, I'm gonna have that extra piece of cake that I should not have. And somebody comes to you, somebody who is aware of what's going on, comes to you and slows you down, go like, yay, hey, you're driving tonight, don't drink that extra glass of wine. Or, hey, you're going a little beyond, shouldn't you be going to bed? Don't you have to wake up early tomorrow? That kind of thing. Somebody is giving you advice that you should probably be taking, but at some point you say, you know what, damn it, I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm not gonna hold on that glass of wine that I really wanna have, and it doesn't matter, who cares? Anyway, we're all gonna die somehow. So you say, in those cases, when they give you that piece of advice, you go like, y bueno, que me quiten lo bailao, right? So here's the thing, next time, here's your challenge now. Next time, when you dance to that song, you're at the milonga, you're dancing to that song, you embrace your partner, you choose those beautiful moves you have, those pretty enrosques, those fancy variations of the ocho cortado, whatever it is that you're gonna be doing, you don't hold anything back, you really leave it all on the dance floor. And then when you leave the floor and somebody looks at you and goes like, hey, you were getting a little bit too passionate in that last one, what's going on? Don't get carried away and all that kind of thing. And you're gonna say, you're gonna bring out your best porteño accent and you're gonna spell out a strong, buah, que me quiten lo bailao. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please like it, share it, make it viral, subscribe to my YouTube channel, take a look at my website, tangomaria.com by the way, and leave your comments down below so we can all start sharing more about the culture, we can all understand each other better, and especially when you bump into us porteños and you hear us having these fast Spanish-speaking conversations and you're getting lost, then you're not going to start frowning like, yeah, I think I practiced enough Duolingo, I think I understand the structure of what you're saying, but what did you mean with that? So here's the thing, that's what I'm going to start doing on a weekly basis, sharing these expressions with you. Thank you so much, see you next time.